and you were contractor number 5 that they called, but you made it out there. You're the contractor that actually got there first. One day later, they don't remember which company showed up. One day later. If you have a membership, they're going to remember who you were because you're going to be talking to them, and now we have some stickiness, and we have that relationship.
From Sarah Systems and Billy Go, this is No BS with Billy Stevens and Landon Brewer, the unfiltered, straight-shooting podcast that dives deep into the heart of home service trades to uncover the truth about running your business. You're entering the No BS zone with Billy and Landon.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the No BS with Billy and Landon. We're happy to be here with you today. You're taking your time out to listen to two crazy guys like us. We really appreciate it. Today, we're going to talk about memberships versus maintenance agreements. We want to clear the air on the value of these memberships that you always hear me talking about. And Landon and I are going to break it down for you, give you the numbers that you need to know so you can start implementing this into your business immediately. And with that, I would like to introduce my co-host today, Mr. Landon Brewer, out there in sunny California. I think it's probably the first sunny day you've had in a while.
It has been terribly dreary. It's like I wake up every day and I'm looking at you in the mirror instead of me. It's crazy.
All right.
It's actually been like, talk about a weather-driven business. Like, I'm not in the weather-driven market at all. It's always just mild and moderate, but oddly, it's been cool, rainy, and damp for the last 18 months. I think God's put a liberal tax on us. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure all your liberals out there are wondering how they can talk about global warming right now.
Well, it's going to drive business for us. It's going to drive some amazing business.
There you go.
Yeah, I love the topic that you chose: the maintenance agreements versus memberships. In the definitions there, and really diving into what you do. Here's why. I was talking to some people today on our call, and my partner Chad had everybody kind of put their revenue levels in the little chat on the call, and they ranged all over from $500,000 to many millions of dollars, and everybody kind of seems to get stuck in the same thing, but we're all at the same, at some functional level, we're all the same business with the same kind of mentality, we're looking to achieve the same things, but, a $500,000 business and no different than a $5 million, $50 million business, right? It's just a collection of those $500,000 businesses along the way. And I think there's this kind of thought process out there in the industry that things are different at different levels. And sometimes you have different challenges, right? And different organizational structures, but there's difference at different levels. And I'm here to tell you there's not. I'm also here to tell you that there is no, customers everywhere in Iowa, Idaho, Indiana, any other state, or Texas or California. They all want the same things. They're looking for the same services. They're no different between, customer in Arizona versus Chicago or whatever. That being said, there's this idea that, in some markets, it's hard to achieve scale. And I think the only thing that limits scale, the only space that really limits your scalability is the space between your head. And so if you're telling yourself that, man, I'm stuck at $1 million and I can't envision what a $10 million business is like, it's like, well, go visit one and start visualizing it in your head, because it's not a lot different than what you're seeing. But if you don't have this piece of it down, I don't see you graduating to the 10 million, 100 million level if you don't really understand the value of what we're talking about today.
I agree with you 100%, man. These memberships are the game changer. If you want growth, this is what it's all about. You want cash flow, this is what it's about. If you want customers that are sticky to you and that will use you no matter what, this is the way to do it. And I just thought it was time that we just really broke this down. People are so used to doing things the same way that they can't get out of their own way to look at new ideas. Take flat rate, for instance. I mean, it took 20 years to take off, and you could see the benefit immediately. I mean, it was like instantaneous, and it still took 20 years. And so we need to move faster. We've got to change the way we run these businesses because modern customers demand that we step up, and modern customers, or younger customers, I guess you could say, they want to pay monthly. They want to do something by the month. They want to be a part of something. Netflix, they want to be a part of that. They want to be a part of the Disney Channel, whatever. They pay monthly to all these different services. And I saw the other day, I do DoorDash from time to time, and now you can do their membership program and save on delivery fees. And so it's everywhere. Amazon Prime. This is what we do now. This is the society we live in. And so
I get everything. I mean, my gym membership, my Netflix. I even get my hair cut on a monthly subscription.
Oh, wow. So see what I mean? It's just the way we're wired now. The younger generation loves paying by the month a small subscription fee. And that's really what a membership is. And let's just break it down a little bit more. A membership is not a maintenance agreement. I want to be very clear about this. Some guys, that I talk to go, well, why can't I run both? Well, you can. There's no reason why you can't run both. Run a maintenance agreement if you want to. But if you want to accumulate customers, you need a membership agreement. And you need to put them on a membership and make it easy and make it affordable. This is not a loss leader. And I'm going to prove to you today that this is not a loss leader. This is a money-making, business-building process. And I'll give you an example. My rule of thumb is 500 memberships for every $1 million of revenue. So in other words, if you have a $2 million business, that's 1,000 members. 5 million, you need 2,500.
Yeah.
10 million, 5,000. Okay. So that is
$2 million business, 1,000 members. Seems like a lot, doesn't it?
It seems like a lot because we can't sell but maybe a couple of hundred of maintenance agreements, no matter how big your company is. It seems to be like 300 is the max, that you really see on the grand scale, no matter what size the business is. But when you implement a membership program based on discounts, based on online bookings that they can do quickly at any time, 24/7, based on not only that, people respond to, they want to know when you have put something on sale. I mean, think about the psychology of putting something on sale. You go to women in particular go to the store and there's a 20% off sale or a 10% off sale, and they'll buy something because of that sale. I know I have a house full of women, that grown up, in my family, daughter and wife and all the sisters-in-laws and all that. And so they'll go and spend money on a 10% off and then charge it on a 19% credit card and not pay it, do that on payments. So, but it's the psychology of being something on sale. And so you can offer sales for these customers when they're members, and they will respond. It's crazy. You can put something on sale and they'll buy it. And that's why I love memberships. And so let's dig into the numbers real quick, Landon. So let's just do a $3 million company. We'll start off with a $3 million company. That's 1,500 memberships. Okay. So now we've got 1,500 memberships. All right. You're going to charge $99 a year per address. So that's 1,500 times $99. That's $150,000. If you're a $3 million business, that is about 2% of your total, 3% of your total revenue, excuse me. So that's 3% of your revenue that you're now adding to your original $3 million. All right. So you've got this extra $150K. What do you do with this $150K? Some guys want to say that this is a loss leader. When you want to know what I do with it, I spend it on marketing to go get more members. That's exactly what I do with it. So look at it like this. I just created $12,000 a month of marketing money that my customers gave me. They gave me the money to go market. Now I'm driving my marketing costs down because I'm having someone participate in the marketing side of things. And because I'm not offering a maintenance agreement with this, I am offering services, features, and benefits with this. I'm not obligated. So this is not a loss leader. However, If you have accumulated all of these members and you know all about their equipment and you're putting this stuff in your software and you know the ages, then you can market to them and talk to them. Hey, because you're a member, we're offering a tune-up for free. We'll come out, especially you want to go see the ones that are very capable of turning into a sale, but you don't contact the ones that are newer. You don't waste time anymore on these stupid maintenance agreements. It has your guy going out and doing a tune-up that really doesn't do much for our system. Serious. It just doesn't. I mean, that's the reality. It's not making them last any longer. I haven't seen age of equipment go 5 years longer because they tuned up every year.
So are you giving them away? That's the question that people want to know, right?
I never give them away because you lose the value and you don't get the money to use for marketing. I never, ever give them away.
Are you giving them away with a maintenance agreement post installation?
Say that again? I'm sorry.
So if you do an installation, do you incorporate a maintenance agreement with the installation?
There's no maintenance agreements. It's just membership. Even with a new system.
Yeah, membership.
Yes, sir. Yeah, there's no maintenance agreement whatsoever with a new system. It's a membership.
So why don't you go back and clarify the difference for everybody?
Okay. A maintenance agreement is an agreement or contract, whatever you want to call it, to perform work that they prepay for. Okay? And so when you're selling the maintenance agreement, your technicians sell the majority of the maintenance agreements when? During the summer when they're in front of people, right? And they sell them on the fact that if you do these maintenance agreement, I can tell you exactly what comes out of their mouths. If you sign up for this maintenance agreement, we're going to tune up your system every year so that it'll last longer. You just told a customer that tune-up is going to keep them from spending any more money, and you wonder why you get so many zero tickets when you go out in the off season.
Yeah,
that is.
Or if you sign up today, you can get a discount. Yeah, that's it. It's just for a discount.
Right.
Like building absolutely zero value in the membership relationship.
Exactly, and you're carrying this obligation on the books, and you're obligated to go to every single one of them. And unfortunately, you're selling them. You're spiffing everyone at your work. You know how I hate spiffs, right, Landon? I'm anti-spiff anything. So you're spiffing your employees to sell these memberships or these maintenance agreements on the phone. And now you're selling maintenance agreements on 3-year-old equipment, 4-year-old equipment, 5-year-old equipment, which has almost zero value to you.
So I don't know if everybody caught that, but if you sell a maintenance agreement where you're obligated to perform work, you're putting a liability on your balance sheet, thus, giving yourself future liability and devaluing your business.
That is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. You're just creating a liability for yourself. And you're not even supposed to take the money until you actually do the work. So now you've got to go set up a liability checking account and park that money
in
over
some
there.
States, like in Texas, you may even need some insurance regulatory just to be able to offer that, right?
I would imagine so. I haven't done maintenance agreements in 20 years, so I don't know what's going on with all that. I went to memberships in 2003.
What do they used to call? Let's see, the people call them PMAs, preferred maintenance agreements.
Yeah,
I've heard them called all kinds of
stuff. And we have to get out of the maintenance agreement part. Now, if you're a commercial contractor and you're doing commercial equipment, obviously that's a maintenance agreement. That's where we got it from. You're on this building that got 12 package units on top, and they need to be maintained, and there's actual work to be done every single time on those things. That's where the maintenance agreements come from. And so it was a great idea in the 80s and 90s when it first came out, because it did give you a little bit more work in the wintertime. But today, that's not what we should be doing. Today, we should be collecting customers. And you collect customers that are sticky to you with a membership. The whole idea is to collect as many customers as possible. Why? Let's talk about that. So we got this $3 million business, 1,500 memberships, 500 per million, right? Everybody follow me? Going to make it very basic for you. You must do 500 memberships per million. Now we've got 1,500 opportunities in the winter to do something. All right. Now, this is when you can go and call a customer and go, hey, we're actually offering a tune-up because you're a member. As a member, we love you being a member and being a part of our membership. There's lots of perks. And my boss came in today and said that we can go ahead and give our members a free tune-up. And obviously, you've already pre-screened this customer. You already know they have a 15-year-old system in their house. That's why you called them. And the one that's living next door to them has a 2-year-old system. You're not calling them. You don't call them. You're not obligated to call them if they have a membership next door and they've already replaced their system. Now you have the opportunity to go talk to these folks, and they'll open the door for you. They're like, oh, really? Great. I'll take that. So if half of these 1,500 have equipment that's 8 years or older, you want to go see them. Let's just say a third, say 500 of them. Heck, let's just do a quarter, 250 of them. Is that right? 300 of them.
Yep.
It's like 325, I believe. Somewhere in there. It's been a long day.
Yeah, you're close enough. It's good. It's good.
Close enough. All right. So we've got over 300. We'll just use 300 that you're gonna have in the age that you need to go out and possibly sell something. Of those 300, your closing rate's 60%. So you've got 180 that you're actually going to sell something. I don't care what it is. It could be a capacitor all the way up to a brand new system. But we've created the opportunity to go and talk to, this many people and make that opportunity. Not only that, let's back up again. So half of these people, 750 of them, you do, or let's make it 500. I'm sorry if I'm getting confusing, guys. I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible. 500 customers respond of the 1,500 over the course of the winter. How many tune-ups do you feel like, Landon, one technician can do in a day to do properly? 3, 4?
3.
3?
Make it easy. 3.
Okay. So if that guy can do 3 and there's 500 available, we just created 167 days for that one technician of tune-ups. If you have 2 technicians, it's 80 days. If you have 3, of course, it keeps going down and going down. Let's just say you have 5. That's 100 days worth of tune-ups, right? So what we have here is work when no one else has work, because we've accumulated so many memberships.
That's pretty solid.
And when you have work when no one else has work, guess what you get to do? Get the pick of the litter when it comes to the best techs that are sitting around waiting for work in the off season, because your membership base is so big and so interactive with you guys, and you're proactive in getting them to book because you have so many of them, and the odds say that a good portion of them will book. You can go and hire in the off season. This is how we build our business every single year. Every year. When I get 500 more members than I had the year before, I've got the possibility to go hire another tech or 2. And that's how I build my companies and scale them without doing acquisitions. And I scale rather quickly. In literally 6 years, we're at 20 million, and we never did an acquisition. Nothing like that. And if I wanted to be $100 million business, I could go acquire and get much bigger dollars. That's easy. The acquisition game's easy. I'm trying to do this one member at a time and proving that this can help you scale your business quickly. Any questions on that, Senor?
So there's obvious benefits, right? Stability of technicians, there's recruiting benefits, there's a reduction in marketing cost, and you can refocus those marketing efforts to, on demand customers while we're continuing to grow it. So let's talk about it. Like, I got the difference between planned or preferred maintenance, and I got what that is. But what are the benefits of your membership? I think everybody's going to be slightly different, but
sure.
So, and here's how I think about it. It doesn't have to be anything that you might think are directly related to. So you remember, like the 1987 commercial from Amex, right? Amex made it famous. Membership has its privileges,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they were the first to really focus on that. That's like the famous slogan. What were those privileges? Like, okay, I got a credit card, and then they became the black card, became cool, but they were actually perks that were completely unrelated to dealing with a financial institution. Vacations, cash back, entertainment, certain privileges, like that were completely unrelated to what they had to offer. So what is the enticement that you're offering customers to become members?
Absolutely. Great question. And again, it's the same concept. And so what we offer, and I try to get people to do it just like this. It's first and foremost is the point of sale. We focus on the discount of a membership. And if I'm selling you something that's $1,000, it's 15% less if you have a membership. So even a $1,000 ticket, it could be $150 cheaper with a membership. Okay. And therefore it pays for the membership on paper. But the real numbers come to part where this is where we make the difference. The membership price that is in our book, that is the discounted price, is the actual margin we need to be profitable. So we give a discount on everything we do, 15% across the board. However, in reality, we never discount $1 because the way we present it, the way our price book is built in Sarah, it's designed to get the customer to focus on the savings. And people love sales, and they love thinking they got a great deal. And now when you have these companies that allow technicians to discount their price to get a sale, or salesmen to discount their price to get a sale, we've eliminated that and still got our margin because we allow them to discount on every single call. You need to be a member to save this money. So let's talk about a $20,000 system. We're talking about $3,000 worth of savings here for $99.
Now, do you, because you're multi-trade, right? You got plumbing and HVAC. So how does that work? Do you add some for the other trade? Do you say, hey, membership has its privileges, so you can also have, we can also service your plumbing? How do you do that?
Oh man, we combine them. It's whatever we offer. If you're multiple trade like us, plumbing and HVAC, that $99 covers you either way, because whoever is in that house, whether it's a plumber or a HVAC tech, they are getting the information on the equipment, the water heater, the garbage disposal. They're looking. We have a plan on what you look at, and we notate it so that we can see the value, try to figure the lifetime value of this customer based off of what we've seen in the home. All right. And the reason we can do that is because we don't, all these things matter, but we don't overbook. So we have time to do a surveillance, if you will, a complete surveillance of the property. And so it can get valued, right? We want the full value of that property. We want to know everything about it that has to do with what we do. And that is what we train our guys to do. And so, heck yeah, if we did electrical, it'd be the same thing. We'd be checking out all the pool equipment. We'd be checking out, everything.
Have you ever thought about offering as part of the membership any other privileges?
So yeah, that was one.
That broke up there for a second.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that was one privilege. The one privilege is the discount. The next privilege is because we have Sarah, we can do 1 hour appointments and actually make them, because Sarah can figure out how much time a guy's going to be on this current call that he's on. That in itself is priceless. That doesn't exist anywhere. Literally can let you know about when someone is going to be finished, where they are. And by doing that, it can make a determination in milliseconds. I've got a guy that's 45 minutes away. He's another hour from being complete. Therefore, I can't offer this appointment, and he's qualified to do this appointment. It's 2 hours from now instead of guessing, right? And so it's 1 o'clock. We tell the customer we can be there at 3. If there's 2 guys available, they both have the capabilities to do the job, and this particular guy is 5 minutes away, and he's got an hour and a half left to do his work, we're probably going to set the schedule for the guy that's closest, even though he may be longer, right? And so when you have software that can do that kind of thinking for you and help you with your dispatching, it allows you to get better service. So that's what it's really all about, right? And so the membership backed up with really good service, 1 hour appointments is the selling point, is the benefit to the customer. 1 hour appointments, well, in an industry that can't even tell you what time they're going to come, you can do it in an hour, 1 hour appointments. Well, of course we can. How do you do that? Well, we use technology to do it. Well, I'm telling all my friends. And that's how our companies grow. The membership is the stickiness, the perks are the differences from our competitors. And so,
have you ever thought about doing like special messaging out to the membership? Because, you know, everything's all about data, right? So, you know, if you have data on all of the members and what they need and who's got what, you know, age of equipment or, you know, whatever in plumbing, have you ever thought about customizing membership messages to like, hey, here's your first opportunity for, you know, XYZ product or specials this month, or special financing options only available through members, or warranty options only available to members, anything like that?
Yes, sir.
Or does that just get too complicated?
No. It does not get too complicated. That's exactly what we do. We we put people in buckets. All right. We put customers in buckets, if you will. All right. So if you have a member, they're going to be in the membership bucket, and there's a message for those folks. Then you've got your expired members. That's a different bucket. We got to talk to them about something different. It's going to make them come back and be a member, or, you know, think about something that's broken. They forgot about calling us or whatever. Because a lot of people, you know, some people allow the membership to expire, and we don't care. They're still a customer of ours, and they typically renew if we do another service or whatever. And so we talk to those people different. If we go to a festival and we get 1,000 new customers at that festival, we talk to that group in a different way. We talk about the festival, the local, what's going on locally. You know, we have more of a local vibe talking about things because that's where we met them at. Remember how much fun we had at the festival, blah, 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 whatever. And so we put people in these buckets, and then now we can fine-tune our messaging to these folks, and we get better response. And that's what we want. We want a fine-tuned message that gets us the response that we need.
Love it. Love it. How about have you ever thought about adding, or, you know, I feel like it's kind of going this way at some point. So there's an element of like security and, you know, like the monitoring stuff that's available right now, or, you know, just that extra data component. You ever thought about, you know, going that direction of, you know, maybe to really make it a membership program versus preferred maintenance? Like, we know what's wrong with the equipment or what needs to be addressed, or when you have a leak before it actually happens, and we can be, you know, preventative in that nature.
So I think they're a great marriage. I think that's another way to make people even stickier, right? And that technology needs to be able to do those types of things, if it can. And so when you put monitoring with a membership, you created a customer and a revenue stream that's constant. It's that MRR and that ARR, depending on how you charge the customers. And you know, this is important numbers, and I'm 100% behind doing that for sure. I mean, that's exactly what you should be doing. You should be doing monitoring if you want to put up with, you know, keeping up with that stuff. And either way, the accumulation of memberships is going to be very high. Customers respond to it. And so at the end of the day, whether you're using monitoring or you're not, it's all about how many can you get? How many members can you get? Because let's start doing some more math on the memberships. So we've got 1,500 in this $3 million business, all right? The customers are paying us $150,000. We're just reviewing here. $150,000 a year, or $12,000 a month, is what's coming in from these customers. And we take that money and we use it to market so that we can get more customers, more members, okay? Now then, the side benefit to that is would you say that the average air conditioner lasts about 12 years? You agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I think depending on where you're at in the country, how often you use it. Yeah.
Okay. So 12 years is basically divided into 100 or 100% is 8%. Okay. So if you have 1,500 members, if you have 1,500 members and 8% of them are over the age of 12, that number is around 130, I want to say, pretty close to 130. And so you have 130 opportunities to sell something that's over the age of 12. And let's just say that half of that is true. So let's call it 60 for easy math for me. You have 60 systems that have been generated from this 1,500 customers that you didn't buy any marketing with. You were actually paid to market with the money. 60 customers, average system sale, you want to say, what do you want to say, 13?
10, 12, 13. I like it. 13 for sure today. After the Biden, after the economic inflation
Wait a second,
situation here in the U.S.
23 is what we should be using.
It's at least 13 now.
Yeah. So exactly. So we have 60, potentially 13,000 each. Let me make sure I do the right math here. So we have 60 systems at let's just say a 60% close rate. So that means the honest answer is times 60%, 36 times 13,000, and we just generated $500,000. And I'm taking this thing and slicing and dicing the heck out of it. I'm saying half of those people you're going to get, and then we're going to only get 60% of those people actual sold. And we just created $500,000. Your customers paid you $150,000. You just created $650,000 or 20% growth in your business. 20% growth in your business just by implementing a membership program.
Yeah.
And you lowered your marketing
talk about
costs?
the discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was just thinking about this, the level of discipline that's required really to and focus to like make this a priority. Could you imagine telling your team and your marketing personnel and the people in your office, hey, look, this is the critical priority. We will not, until we get to this ratio of a 500 per every million, we're not going to spend any more money on marketing, beyond our base rate of marketing. And then when we hit these thresholds of marketing, we're going to take only the money that we will anticipate receiving from the membership and throw it back into the marketing pool. So you want additional demand calls, you got to have the membership customers, because the membership customers are going to fund your additional demand calls. So you want more customers, you want to take care of them, you want to grow, you want to make more money, you got to sell the membership agreements.
That's right. Get the maintenance.
What a good discipline.
Great discipline. Easy to implement. Costs you nothing to start right now. You could call your text right now when you're listening to this and sell memberships right now. It's not something you have to ramp up very quickly. You can change your website. You could stop talking about maintenance. You can train your guys. Do all of that, and in 1 week you're selling memberships and you're changing the life of your business. And when I talk to contractors that have implemented this strategy, they just can't believe how fast it happens, how quickly it helps their company grow. And it's what the consumer wants. And that's why we do this show, right? We want people to understand what consumers want, what PE wants, we're always talking about everything, the trades, and the consumer is looking for a membership of some sort from you because no one else is offering it. It's standing out. And then you stand out with the benefits of that membership. Again, 1 hour appointments, 15% off everything you do. However, you don't really discount it. You set your price book up like we do in Sarah. with 2-column quoting, and you have your non-member price, which is a penalty price, and then you have your price that you need to be profitable as your discount. And now you're allowing everyone to discount. Every job, everything is discounted by that amount, but yet your profits are going up because you're not discounting from what you thought you needed. And now you actually know what you need to charge. And
just a more efficient operation all around. Your marketing spend's more efficient. You become more profitable. It's more, programmable and systematic. Yeah.
And I've been doing this now for 20-ish years. When I first come out with this idea of not having maintenance programs, and I've built 2 businesses, in that time period. When we created the first PE firm in the space, that's the first thing we would implement every single time. And let me give some tips real quick. If you don't have a membership program, how you can get started today. So the first thing you want to do is you want to send an email. Maybe you have some maintenance agreements and you have these customers that are like, man, they get their maintenance every year. Great. Continue to give them maintenance. That's fine. Move them over to a membership. Continue to give them maintenance if that's what they want. But stop talking about the maintenance. But go take care of them. If that's what they want, take care of them. But move them over to a membership. Move them over to that $99 per address. Not per system, per address. Okay. Now that you've done that, the way you talk to your customer base is to tell them that because you've been loyal customers and we have worked on building a more efficient business, we're now offering $99 annual memberships. And they will respond. It is nuts how many of your customers will buy those. They'll call you and pay for them. They'll actually call you and start paying for them. And start implementing these on every single job you go to. And before you know it, you'll have that first 500. And now you're creating days of work. Always remember that however many you have, divide it by half. So if you have 500, you have 250, and then divide that by 3 tune-ups a day. And now you have somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 something systems or 80 something days worth of work for one guy.
Yeah.
And we know that there's only 5 work days in a week. You don't want to do these on the weekends. And so now we're talking about 40 weeks when there's only 52 weeks. And that's half of them. If half of them are the age that you want to go see. The other half, they're too young. Don't go look at them. Don't even call them. And now you created all this work, and now you're growing your business in the off season. And when I coach these companies that are, the $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, doesn't matter, $5 million, $10 million, doesn't matter. Hell, I talked to a $300 million company about it this last week, and now they're doing it. What happens is the customer starts feeling like they're getting what we're missing in this industry, which is customer service. Or, it just gives that feel. And I don't care what anybody says. I'll argue with you till the day is long. But in our industry, we give really, really, really shitty service, and we call it good.
Yeah.
It's
pretty wrong.
That's my no BS.
I mean, just because we're comparing ourselves to other organizations that you call in and you have to talk to a call center in some foreign nation and you can't understand them, doesn't mean that we're offering good service.
Yeah.
We do.
We're
with you 100%. Now, how about this? This is all about data collection, and eventually, I think the value of all these businesses are going to be about the data that you're able to collect, right?
Yep.
What
if you still own it, there's some people you give it away. If you still own your own data, depends on what contracts you sign.
Yeah, that's true. Depending. Yeah. Always watch that. Read the fine print of all these things, right?
Yep.
But if what's the data that you've got that you've been able to aggregate? I don't know if you can share it. Well, maybe share it with like Billy Go or something like that. Like, what's the value on an annualized basis or an agreement basis or whatever data you have of a membership client versus somebody that's not in a membership?
Oh man, it's almost 3x. the numbers, the data that we have. A member spends on the average around $2,200 a year, whereas a non-member is about $800. It's profound. It's a crazy number.
And those are just like, you're talking about returning customers?
Yes. I don't count the first time. I mean, if you sell something the first time, they didn't have a member. They were a non-member in my book, the way we count it. And they only a member once they become a member, right? And they made them.
Well, that's one of my life philosophies. I generally never count the first time. Moving on.
Well, neither did she.
But moving on. So what about the lifetime value, right? So to me, I think we're all moving towards this customer lifetime value metric.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does it do? What is a membership agreement customer versus a non? Like, I get every time kind of you can service them, but like from a lifetime perspective.
Well, you created stickiness like you've never had in your business before, because people are beholden to memberships. It's like if they join a club, a gym, they're not going to go to the gym across the street. They're going to go to the one they have the membership at. And so the lifetime value of this customer goes up exponentially because we're not shopping anymore. We are dedicated to you. We're loyal to you. You gave us a membership. You keep reminding us about the value of that membership. Whether you use me this year or not, you still are in contact. The unsubscribe to the emails that we send out is so low. So the people are reading the emails. They're not unsubscribing. I mean, that's one thing they don't do. It's crazy. The customers aren't unsubscribing from the emails. And so therefore we know they're listening. Maybe they haven't talked to us in a year or more, but they're listening and they're still beholden to us. They're still our customer. And if they have an issue, they're not going to go to Google and search for someone. They already know you. And we've already created a bond. That bond is that membership. And so that customer is the stickiest they're ever going to be to you, ever. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you go to a customer for the first time and it's busy in the summer and you were contractor number 5 that they called, but you made it out there, you're the contractor that actually got there first, one day later, they don't remember which company showed up. One day later. If you have a membership, they're going to remember who you were because you're going to be talking to them, and now we have some stickiness and we have that relationship. But if they're out there and they're dialing for HVAC help, they don't care. All they care about is that company showed up. And then they get back into their busy life. You think they spend the next 24 hours thinking about what company you were? No. And so you have to do something to make you a memory for these customers. And that's selling that membership on that first visit. And now they know who you are.
Yeah, well, I think the important thing to remember, though, is that, it's almost impossible. So I've had, and I'll get your take on this, but we've had, we switched to call center people selling them for a while. And oddly, I think it was like a 3-to-1 call center would sell them to technicians. But that was just part of their job, part of their script. And I think it was just easy, admittedly, for, we had lack of controls on the process. So it's lack of controls of what happens in the field and what's being said. And I think they just, the technicians wouldn't mention it for a while. But I think nobody will buy one of these things. Nobody will want to be a member unless you provide a high level of service, right? Unless you're a technician, technician's done a good job, has arrived on time, your company's done everything they promised, and you've delivered a level of service where the customer has told you they don't want anybody but you. They don't want anybody but this technician. They don't want, so you got to deliver that first, I think, as a precursor. And to me, if you really have a focus on this, and you got technicians that aren't consistently bringing them back at a rate that you think is acceptable, your kind of your minimum standards, it tells you that, quite frankly, they're just not providing the level of service that you want them to provide in the customer's home.
I agree with you as well. But you do need to have the infrastructure in place to make it easy to where at the end of the day, you're not selling them. It becomes a part of the process. And that's what we do. We make it a part of the process. And our price book is designed to show that discount. And so what we actually did in our price book, from some feedback we had from some customers and from some clients, was when you get the total and you show the quote to the customer, we have a delayed red circle that waits until the customer actually is seeing down at the bottom of the quote. And when they see at the bottom of the quote, that red circle will appear and it will circle the savings. It won't circle the totals. It'll catch their eye. It'll take them straight to the savings every time. And so it circles the savings amount. Yeah. And then now we have a conversation. Well, I added this membership in here so that I could save you this money. Oh, tell me about the membership. Oh, well, first and foremost, you're going to save a lot of money with it. Second of all, if you ever need us, we're available 24/7 online. We can get a 1-hour appointment to you as quickly as possible. Not only that, we have sales that we have throughout the year. I noticed that there's a lot of minerals in this water around this part of town, and every year we have a water filtration sale that we as a way to give back to our customers. Oh man, that sounds wonderful. That's how we do it. That's all we do. And we let the savings sell the membership. And we don't sell maintenance at all.
Yeah.
We don't.
I mean, very similar to, this retail idea that you get from the grocery stores, right?
Yeah.
Right. Then where the grocery stores, you plug in your phone number or whatever. I don't know if you've got them where you're at, but I've got several out here. And you plug in your phone number, and that's exactly what it says. It says how much even the checker person, I don't know what they're called. I used to be one back in my early years. When they're checking out, it's like, okay, you saved this much. Sometimes they'll circle it for you if they're trained really well, and you'll say, oh, look, I just, instead of, I overpaid by 40% of my groceries. Oh, look, I saved $78. Yay.
That's exactly the psychology behind it, because they make you feel bad about that $300 and those 4 bags of groceries.
Yep. Exactly.
Exactly what they're doing. And we're doing the same thing. We are taking the cost or the price out of the equation and building a relationship on savings. And that's how we improve our closing rate. That's how we improve you make the business go bigger. It's all perception. And it's just a little perceptions that you do to make your business stand out over and above everyone else's. And it's easy to do. It's super easy to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
So one more question I'm sure that's on people's minds is something I get a lot. And, I've gone back and forth over the years for a while. There's a psychological element of doing it. And I mean, what are your thoughts on having customers pay monthly versus, all at once, or, renewing how do you do that?
So that's a great question and a great debate. Something we need to get back to in this country, debating. So let's just say that monthly is liberal and annually is, conservative. So I'll be the annual guy that's conservative, and you can be the, no, I'm just kidding. I know that stuff gets under your skin, so that's why I brought it up.
No, that's fine. I'm a master debater. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, there goes a no BS moment. Here we go. Back on track here. So here's the debate, right? Do we go monthly? Do we go annually? Well, I don't care either way. I want you accumulating as many memberships as possible. That is ultimately what I want. And if you have a customer base that loves to pay you monthly, then by all rights, get them to pay you monthly. If you have a customer base that wants to pay by the year or a mixture of both, just do whatever the customer wants. Make it easy on the customer. That's all. Just accumulate them. That's the key. So don't mess with the price. The price is proven. I have 20 years of messing around with this formula. Okay, and I've been messing around with this formula a lot. And I found the right recipe. And when I found it, I couldn't keep up with how many we would sell. I mean, literally in 2003, we fiddled around with the formula. We got a few sales, and then once we got it right, we started doing the 2-column quote, started showing the savings. We sold 6,000 that very first year. 6,000. In 2003, I don't know, I was probably about 6 million, 7 million in size. Way back then. 8 million, I can't remember exactly. And we sold 6,000 right away. And then I was like, holy crap. And our business just took off, and it started growing in 30% clips every year. Boom, 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 boom. And that's what worked. And that's what I do still to this day is I build companies based on a membership program of all things. That's what I do. And I have the lowest marketing budget in around. My marketing budget is let's see, I've got 8,000. So I'm getting about 800,000. So I've got, close to about 70,000 a month to spend on marketing to grow my business from my customer base. I think that's a pretty good deal.
Pretty solid.
Well, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And maybe I can go add another 100. Maybe I go add another 50,000 to that. Now I've got so I'm only spending 50,000, but I'm getting $120,000 worth of benefit.
Yeah, I will say in the last 18 months, as you know, you may or may not have seen a difference. This business has only been around 4 or 5 years, but in the last 18 months, I would say that memberships and having an active customer base in general is probably the differentiator between a lot of these businesses that you've seen that have just relied on heavy demand for the years. And that's been their primary strategy. Like, let's put more money into Google and let's go out and buy more customers and do this. And then all of a sudden, when that spigot shuts off because of the economy, the shipments or whatever, for whatever reason, right? Like the companies that are going backwards that haven't changed anything about their sales cycle, anything like that. It's like those companies have just been 90% reliant on demand business that's not coming in. And so if you've got an active customer base, a lot of memberships, people communicating regularly, happy customers that you're focused on rather than going out and just gathering out more demand calls when it's becoming ever more expensive, you're growing, they're declining. Yep. In the last 18 months, it's never been probably more true than it has any time in the last 15 years.
That's exactly right. And we're having a record quarter, I think, for the year. Well, I know for the month, I looked this morning, we're up 67% for the month of April, and we've had zero weather. It's, it's not hot yet. It's not hot at all. 67% is how much we're up in April. We're up over 40% for the first 4 months up to today. Today's date is, 4/24, I believe. So it's the 24th of April, and we're up over 40-something%. Now, that sounds impressive, but what makes it more impressive is we were up 30% last year when most were down 30. So we don't ever go down. We only go up. And I know there's been a couple of large companies here in town, one not too far from me that I know very well, that have layoffs several times in the last 18 months. And we're hiring and have been hiring, the whole time and growing the business. And it's because of the membership base. They keep us in business. And it's also because we have a good mix of selling new equipment to repairs, to refurbish. And we're not all in on selling, because my thoughts on that is when you sell a customer an air conditioner, they better have another one, or you just lost that customer for 12 years. And if you lost that customer for 12 years, you got to go find more customers to replace them. And then you do the same thing with them. And now you're on that hamster wheel, that perpetual hamster wheel of spending to keep going. And then the bottom drops out, and then you wonder where all the cash went.
Yeah, you got to be diversified. It can't just be you can't be a one-trick pony right now.
You cannot. And I don't think you ever can.
One-trick pony.
I don't think you should ever be. I think even in the best of times, you should still diversify. I mean, I'm the believer of looking forward, and we can do a show on this. I really want to. We're about to enter summer, and we're prepared for summer because we learned what we learned last summer, and we worked on it with our team during the off season.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go into the summer, and when we're firmly in the summer, like next month, we'll start working on the fall, preparing my team internally for keeping us busy all fall and winter. And that's looking forward. And I'd love to do another episode on looking forward and what we do.
Yeah.
Because we're not if you're working on this summer, in the middle of summer, you're behind. If you're working on trying to put a membership program in the middle of the winter, you're behind. You should have done it spring the year prior.
Yep.
And so we need to learn to look forward, look further down the road, and we can move faster that way. And we take out all the peaks and valleys. We just want that steady arc of growth happening at all times. But, we probably went a little over on time here, and that's okay because this is a very, very important subject. This is a game changer subject, and I appreciate
it. It is a game changer subject that most people, I'll be honest, it's not like the most exciting. It's not like, we're going to give you some crazy tips and tricks to go out and, do some. Yeah, I get that it may not be the most exciting, but again, it's like, I just keep coming back to the most financially successful, the fastest growing, whatever businesses. They're not, you're not walking into a Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins conference. It's like you're walking into a systematic, quiet, smooth sailing, efficient, everybody following the process and doing their piece business. And that's what success looks like. It doesn't look like all the gurus ranting and raving. And it's, and so again, may not be the guru exciting topic of the day, but it is like one of the most important, vital topics to talk about to running a profitable service business.
Man, I'll have to put lipstick on it if it really works. That's the way I look at it. I mean, this is what's going to make a difference in your business.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think for one of them, you should come on next topic just to get attention for it. Just put a little lipstick on there.
There you go. You try.
You look good with it. Look good with it.
I think you should do it because no one would even pay attention if you did it where you live.
Yeah. Well, nobody would notice.
They wouldn't even notice.
Right,
It'd just be another person out there, right? I mean, here in Texas, I don't know if that's a good idea. But so yeah, thanks everyone for listening to this. If you have any questions about it, you can always send us a message on our YouTube channel at No BS with Billy and Landon. And as Landon always says,
like and subscribe. Smash that like button.
There you go.
If you really hate Billy, hit it 4 times.
Just make sure it's still on subscribe when you stop hitting it. We appreciate y'all's time today. Hope you got something out of this. Like I said, reach out to us at any time. We'll help you get this implemented and get you going to a path of success and quickly. Let's create a lot of cash flow for one another. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for listening.
No BS with Billy and Landon is produced and delivered to you by Sarah Systems. At Sarah Systems, we've created a better way to run your home service business and unlock unprecedented growth. Our field service software was designed by real home service professionals to help you save steps, charge for previously unbillable time, and win more business. But the true change requires more than software. Our live coaching helps you understand and control the aspects of your business that matter most. It's about time for a new era of service, and we're leading the way. If you're ready to join the hundreds of other contractors who've been able to increase profit margins more than 50% within 6 months, visit Sarah.tech today. That's Sarah, SERA.tech today.